Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching Bram Stoker's Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, and Keanu Reeves. Coppola is one of the great living directors. Although he hasn't made anything big in the past 20 odd years, his early career was amazing. I've watched 5 films from him so far: Godfather 1, 2, 3, The Conversation, and Apocalypse Now. Apart from the third Godfather, the other 4 were masterpieces. Don't get me wrong, Godfather 3 was still a very good movie, way above your average film, but nothing compared to the other 4. About this film, I know that there are many Dracula adaptations. The one I heard of the most has to be the one from the 1930s, but I've also heard good things about the Coppola version as well. The only thing I know about the performances is apparently Reeves has a notoriously bad English accent in this film. I have to see that for myself. I don't know anything about the plot, neither have I read the book by Bram Stoker. And although I've watched a few vampire films on the channel, like Interview with the Vampire or even Blade, do check that out, this is going to be my first Dracula film, and I'm pretty excited. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 120 films, TV shows, early access, and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. The link's in the description below, by the way. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. Dracula, Coppola, Oldman, Ryder, Reeves. Let's go! Interesting choice of music, very ominous.
Muslim Turks swept into Europe with a vast superior force, striking at Romania, threatening all of Christendom.
Gary Oldman. Winona Ryder. Holy crap, she's young.
Knew that he must face an insurmountable force from which he might never return.
Wow, okay, so he's going to go fight the Turks, and what an interesting armor design. It looks like he's still mortal. I like the cinematography here. The black silhouettes with the red background, almost representing blood. Crazy. He won the battle. He's thinking about his wife.
The vengeful Turks shot an arrow into the castle, carrying false news of Dracula's death. Elisabetta, believing him dead, flung herself into the river.
Oh no. That's true love right there, if you sacrifice yourself like that. That should break him. Sir Anthony Hopkins, are you kidding me? Huh. Well, I expected supernatural stuff, but the music sounds demonic. Drinking the blood coming out of the cross. Denouncing God. He drank the blood, so somehow he turns into Dracula. Coppola really does know how to make an entrance. I think it's a painting in the background, but it's beautiful.
I've done everything that you asked, Master. But when the rewards are given, I will be one of those who benefits from your generosity.
I have to assume he's already turned into the Dracula for a couple of 100 years now.
He's lost his greedy mind, poor chap. I want you to take over for his foreign client, this rather eccentric Count Dracula. He's buying up property around London.
Of course, sir.
Is that Reeves?
If I may inquire, what in fact happened to Mr. Rayfield in Transylvania?
His accent.
Nothing. Nothing. Personal problems.
Oh!
We've waited this long, haven't we?
We can be married when I return.
It's Winona Ryder again. I have to assume that she's reincarnated somehow. That transition reminded me a little of Apocalypse Now.
My friend, welcome to the Carpathian.
I like that accent.
I am anxiously expecting you.
Diary, 25th May. Must be so nice to see strange countries. I wonder if Jonathan and I, shall ever see them together.
I don't think I've seen Keanu Reeves do an accent ever. Oh man. Is it me, or does this film have a very gothic tone to it? Wow, I think this might be a real location. Coppola is going out of his way. Oh wow, look at his...
Welcome to my home.
This is a very traditional approach to the Dracula story, it seems.
An ancestor? I see a resemblance.
I'm sorry, that's an ancestor.
Is too precious a thing in these times.
Look at his fingers.
I am the last of my kind.
My kind. Not my line or dynasty.
I do so long to go through the crowded streets of your mighty London.
Is his shadow not following his actions? That's so creepy.
You, Count, are...
They say you are a man of good taste.
We all know what that means.
And that you are a worthy substitute to your predecessor.
We've seen him. He went crazy.
We're to be married as soon as I return. Are you married, Count?
She died.
A month. Do you wish me to stay so long?
I would take no refusal.
Coppola has been amazing with his cinematography so far.
I know that Jonathan does not want me to stay here with Lucy while he is away. He thinks...
Oh, disgustingly awful.
Is that the Kama Sutra?
There's more to marriage than carnal pleasures.
Oh, Mina. So I...
Again, I love these costumes and sets.
What is it, Lucy?
This is literally pornography for the time.
We've kissed, that's all. He's so young and fresh. Like a wild stallion between my legs. You're positively indecent. I just know what men desire.
Lucy is a pure and virtuous girl, but I admit that her free way of speaking shocks me sometimes.
She's just flirtatious, I guess.
I wish I were as pretty and as adored as she.
Yes.
Does she remember her past life, though?
A fly gives you life.
The master will come, and he has promised to make me immortal. How?
I think strange things which I dare not confess to my own soul. The way he looked at Mina's picture fills me with dread, as if I have a part to play in a story that is not known to me.
He has no reflection.
The letters I requested. Have you written them?
I would be so freaked the F out if somebody talked to me like that.
Do not put your faith in such trinkets of this.
Obviously doesn't like the cross.
I've seen many strange things already. Bloody wolves chasing me through some blue inferno.
I know now that I am a prisoner.
As a matter of fact, I also like Keanu Reeves' physical acting. It's just his accent that is kind of taking me a little out of the experience. Yeah, this is definitely a very artistic look at the story. Very stylized. No way, that's Monica Bellucci, and she's naked. I have no idea whether this is actually happening or not. A baby.
The Count has insisted I remain for a month, to tutor him in English custom.
She might be having visions again. Coppola, what are you doing, my man?
Storm continues. Crew uneasy. Believes someone or something is aboard the ship with us.
I await your command!
The case of Renfield grows more interesting.
Interesting cinematography.
Lucy! Lucy!
He recognizes her.
Do not see me.
I think on some level she recognized him too, but holy crap.
I had no control.
Oh, okay.
Those red eyes.
He looks human.
Oh,
Is a beautiful lady from
You may purchase a street atlas for 6p. Good day.
Your fiancé is very worried about you, and I assure you, a doctor's confidence is sacred.
Yeah, I think it is Richard E. Grant. He has green eyes.
I don't know what's happening to me. I'm changing.
It's harder than a June bride riding bareback buck naked in the middle of the sand.
I would watch my colonial tongue if I were you.
She doesn't look too good. Another interesting transition.
I shouldn't have come here.
Again, he's floating. We've seen that before.
I have crossed.
Yeah, I think she's slowly being seduced by Dracula while her fiancé is stuck. Hey, it's Sir Anthony Hopkins again.
Cute little vermin, yeah?
These may be the last words I write in this journal. Dracula has left me with these women. They drain my blood to keep me weak, barely alive so I cannot escape.
I, Abraham van Helsing, became personally involved in these strange events.
Oh, he's playing Van Helsing.
Her blood analyzes normal, and yet it is not. Yeah. My God. Something just went up there, sucked it out of her, and flew away, I suppose?
Exactly.
Yeah? Why not?
That's why he bought the soil from Transylvania, so he can rest, I think. Yeah, she's definitely being seduced.
It's like a voice in a dream I cannot place.
We haven't seen Jonathan in a while. I wonder what he's up to.
It's a river.
She was the most radiant woman in all the empires of the world.
The music is very good. It sounds mysterious. And it looks like Jonathan is escaping.
Your fiancé is safe and in the care of the good sisters of the Blessed Sacrament.
He sent a message.
How is she, Doctor?
She's still very weak.
He's suffering from a violent brain fever.
I want you to take this, my sister.
No.
It's my wedding gift to you.
Vampire. They're finally getting it.
I have received word from my fiancé in Romania.
He's not going to like that.
I am en route to join him. We are to be married. I will never see you again. And now without him, soon to be a bride, I feel confused and lost.
Yeah, she definitely has feelings for him.
Wins!
He's going to go after him, I think.
Yes, the devil's concubine! Hey!
Yeah, I really think a lot of the imagery is not meant to be taken literally. Alright, they're almost married already. Holy crap. Yep, he transformed into a werewolf. She's dead?
Now that Lucy is dead, it is a sad homecoming.
If Miss Lucy is dead, no wrong can be done to her. But if she's not dead, well...
She's gone.
Where is she? These creatures do not die like the bee after the first sting, but instead grow strong and become immortal once infected by another Nosferatu.
He knows quite a bit about them. She bought a child. Holy crap.
Lucy!
Hungry for you.
Yeah, I think she even has some powers of seduction.
We're strong in the Lord! In the power of his might!
Take the stake in your left hand.
Through the heart. And the head chopped off. And I think Dracula feels it.
Was she in great pain?
Yeah, she was in great pain. Then we cut off her head and drove a stake to her heart and burned it, and then she found peace.
Doctor! I was impotent with fear.
I know.
But, sir, I know where the bastard sleeps.
Right.
Mr. Morris, your bullets will not harm him.
Dr. Seward, who is that man?
I know you. You're the bride my master covets.
You'll be completely safe here.
Never trust a movie character when they say you'll be completely safe here. Yeah, I think he can turn into a wolf or a vampire or any number of creatures in this adaptation. Oh.
You found me. I want to be with you always.
There is no life in this body. I am the monster the breathing men would kill.
You murdered Lucy!
But destroying all this soil should weaken Dracula since he has no place to rest. Oh, and he's actually going through with it. Holy crap.
Drink and join me.
I think it is free will.
Mina!
And he's gone. Oh no! Oh, that was a good jump scare.
Sacred blood of Christ! Christ compels you! All right!
Wow! That was amazing.
Dracula fears us. He fears time.
Your eyes are heavy. You want to sleep.
He is traveling across icy seas to his beloved home.
Oh, he has to go back to Transylvania. He doesn't have that soil.
By train, we can reach the Romanian port at Varna in 3 days. By ship, it will take him at least a week.
They're all together. I wonder what the budget for this film was. It looks pretty expensive.
What if I turn to you? No. He's coming closer. He's calling me to him.
I am fearful for Mina. She is now our decoy.
Oh, that's a sad realization. Again, these paintings in the background, they're absolutely gorgeous.
He needs me. We must go.
I know that Lucy harbored secret desires for you.
Oh no.
I've lost Lucy. I will not lose you to him.
Mina's loyalties are with Dracula now. She's performing a spell. I can only assume that she's remembering her past life and that's how she knows this stuff. Oh no! Holy crap. Was that through the heart? I think it was.
When my time comes, will you do the same to me? Will you?
No! Wait! No, let them go! Let them go!
It's finished.
I understood at last how my love could release us all from the powers of darkness.
Oh.
Our love is stronger than death.
That's interesting. So the curse ends with the circle of life, almost. He got the love of his wife back, which was his mission. Oh, they did. She did it. She actually removed the head from the body. That was a pretty good movie, guys. I generally enjoyed it. Okay, I took some time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was a very good movie. When compared to other movies, it was way better than average, but compared to the other 5 Coppola films I've watched, I would say that it was a little better than Godfather 3, but not as good as the others. Solid film, but not life-changing amazing, if you know what I mean. The film was very artsy and abstract, and I don't think many of the scenes were meant to be taken literally. I would consider the strengths of the film to be its acting, except Reeves' accent, which we'll talk about soon enough, cinematography, production design, like costumes and sets, and the music. While I had 2 criticisms of the film, the first, the obvious one, Reeves' accent, and secondly, although the story was good, it did feel a little disjointed, and certain things like the fate of the main characters were left a little too ambiguous in my opinion, except Dracula's, of course. Let's start with the directing by Francis Ford Coppola and the screenplay by James V. Hart. I know the film was based on the book by Bram Stoker of the same name. As I haven't read the book, I don't know how well it was adapted for screen. I can only give my opinions on this version of the adaptation. Coppola is a director obsessed with detail and imagery. His filmmaking style really evolved from the time he made the first 2 Godfather films in the 70s. By the late 70s, he became more of a visual artist, a visual storyteller. I've seen Apocalypse Now, and just like Dracula, in that movie, he uses a lot of stark imagery, a lot of shocking imagery almost. Anyways, I don't feel like I'm honestly qualified to assess the abstract art that Coppola was showing the audience, at least not for my initial viewing. What I did love from him was the amount of detail he put into making this world feel somewhat real. How he played with Dracula's shadow, or how he used the color red in particular. The story of the film was about Vlad Dracula losing his wife before renouncing God and turning into a vampire with the intention of finding his wife again. At the end, when he does get his love back, he rests in peace and dies. I think the filmmakers subtly asked the question whether he was redeemed at his death. I personally don't think so, since he was shown to be a remorseless killer both as Dracula the vampire and before his death. I think he was Vlad the Impaler. I don't think they state that outright, but it's implied multiple times. And I think I'm right in this regard. The mythos of the vampires that was mostly respected. And we see the vampires like Lucy and Dracula being generally scared of garlic or crosses and the church. One thing I think they changed is the fact that they can walk in sunlight, albeit weakened. That was interesting. Another thing that kind of confused me in the beginning was the emphasis on wolves rather than on bats. Traditionally, I associate vampires with bats and not wolves or other creatures like rats. I wonder whether that was lifted directly from the books or was that a narrative choice. Do let me know. Regardless, Gary Oldman as Count Dracula was just fantastic. He was Dracula. He's one of my favorite actors, along with a handful of others. Just to name a few, like Hopkins or Pacino or Brando. I consider them chameleons. They can play whoever they want, however they want. Contrast them with somebody like Keanu Reeves, who's also a very good actor. I love Keanu Reeves. I absolutely love him, but that man cannot do an English accent at all. I am sorry, that is fact. I don't think I've seen him do any other accent except his native accent. I think he does two accents. I think he does his normal American accent, and I think he does the dude that very well. But he can't do an English accent, guys, at all. Seriously, I think he was going for an aristocratic approach to the character, even though his character Jonathan was a low-level solicitor. I think that approach was completely wrong, and I can't believe a filmmaker like Coppola allowed that accent in his film. Did he not notice that it was bad? Sadly, he did seem a little out of place, and it pains me to say that it did take me out of the experience a couple of times. And I felt like Keanu Reeves might just go like, dude, several times during the film. Winona Ryder, who's also not English, she had an excellent accent in comparison. Her portrayal of Elisabetta and Mira, they were great. She played her role with innocence and vulnerability, torn between the love of two men, but ultimately leans in the direction of her base desires. I might go as far as to say that she was the representation of human desires overwhelmed in the face of danger or logic. I was surprised to see Richard E. Grant in this film. I haven't seen much of his work, but I've seen him in Loki recently, and his performance was amazing in that, and he was great in his role as Dr. Seward here too. His patient, the previous lawyer, I don't know who played that character, Dracula kills him for his betrayal. The thing is, I don't know how he betrayed him though. During the entire runtime, he was almost worshipping him, even going as far as to tell Mira to get away from these men, meaning the mortal humans, and towards Dracula. Some explanation in this regard would be highly appreciated. The film also had a fairly poetic ending though, with Dracula dying in the arms of his love, just like she almost died in the exact same way. I know she killed herself, but the imagery was very similar. They both died for love, is what I mean. Now, to the other criticism I had of the film, which was an aspect of the ending, I felt like the other characters in the film did not have the most satisfactory conclusion to their story arcs. What happened to Jonathan? Or Lord Arthur, for that matter? What about Mira? Will she turn into a vampire in the near future? I mean, we saw the wound on her forehead heal, but we don't really have an answer. We don't really know. Coppola left a lot to the imagination of the audience. Or was it straight up from the book? Did he lift that ending from the book? Do let me know. The cinematography of this film was excellent. The use of red represented blood, and the use of shadows, they were brilliant. The first time the shadows didn't correspond to the movement of Dracula, that was very scary indeed, and it really threw me off my game. And also very impressive from a production standpoint. They had to get the lighting work perfect to create that illusion, and that's why the lighting work in this film was fantastic too. The editing of the film was pretty good, but not amazing in my opinion. The story felt a little disjointed and convoluted, but I did follow the plot generally. I wonder whether that was also an intentional choice by Coppola to disorient the audience or not. I don't know. Anyways, the score of the film was very gothic and dark, with sweeping sounds and ominous music. It was a very fitting score to the film. The music in the scenes between Dracula and Mira were very romanticized, and it really did feel like they had an eternal bond, just from the music. So that was very awesome. Great work in this department. Finally, the sets, props, and makeup work and the costuming work of the film deserves the highest praise. The production values were off the charts. Everything from the locations to the beautifully made background paintings to the props, they were so detailed and were clearly made with love. Coppola cares about little things like this, and it shows. The costumes were colorful, time appropriate, and absolutely gorgeous. The prosthetic and makeup work done on Dracula was superb and fairly convincing. There were some composited special effects which, just like that blue light, which don't hold up the best today, but that's easily forgivable as the film itself was beautiful. As I have mentioned my two criticisms already, overall, Dracula was the 5th best Coppola film I've seen. It's the Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Apocalypse Now, The Conversation, Dracula, and then Godfather 3. It was artsy, abstract, and I think open to interpretation. As a standalone film, it was great, but compared to Coppola's other films, like the first two Godfathers, Conversation, Apocalypse Now, it did fall a little short. The acting was superb, except that horrible accent from Keanu Reeves. The production values were just great. They were the icing on the cake. Apart from some loose ends that were not properly addressed in my opinions, I really enjoyed the film overall. I would recommend this film to adults because of the nudity, but more specifically to art house cinema lovers and to fans of the Dracula mythos. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video. Dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.